Everyone, I'm Dennis, the voice and brains behind Timeless Perspective. As always, it's a great pleasure to have you. In today's video, we explain why blame games make you weak. I've always been driven by excellence, diligence, and productivity. I believe in getting things done right and within the stipulated amount of time. This to me is greatness. Relevance is greatly related to reliability. Can you be relied upon to deliver on a specific task within the agreed timeline? How you answer this question will determine how relevant you are or you will be in life. Unfortunately for most people, the answer to that question is a resounding no. If this is you, struggling with getting things done and finding relevance, stick around. If you've ever found yourself in a situation where an account is required of you and for some reason you're not in a position to give an explanation, you're human. However, if this situation becomes common to you, then it's a problem. This is what separates the superior man from the common man. One will always get things done no matter the circumstances. The other will always have an excuse or someone to blame for his or her incompetence. The common man always has an explanation for his lack of diligence. One of the easiest way the common man abdicates responsibility is by playing the blame game. Does this sound familiar to you? Have you found yourself identifying a weaker target and blaming them for your incompetence? Your target could range from humans to animals, to inanimate objects, to even acts of God if worse gets to worse. Just anything to ensure you don't answer for your incompetence. It could be the lamest of excuses. You're late to work because your dog made a mess and you had to clean it up. You missed the deadline because your spouse or your roommate distracted you. You didn't finish the project because your alarm didn't go off, or better yet, it rained. Here's the problem though. Blaming others is like digging a hole and expecting someone else to climb out of it for you. Each time you point a finger at someone or something else, you are simply saying, "This isn't my fault, I have no control." The truth is, you always have control. If not over the situation, then over your response to it. Here are the 3 reasons why blaming others makes you weak. First of all, every time you blame someone else, you give them your power. Think about it. If someone else is responsible for your failure, shouldn't they also hold the key to your success? I mean, it's only fair, right? This is the one thing I need you to take away from this video. Whenever you transfer responsibility, you transfer your power. What is left of you is a victim mindset. Blaming others reinforces the belief that life happens to you, not because of you. It makes you passive and reactive instead of proactive and empowered. This is true especially when it comes to your personal life. Always ensure you do what you need to do when it comes to your personal growth and development. No one is coming to save you. The only person responsible for you is the guy you see in the mirror. Your mother is not responsible for your overweight. The government or inflation is not responsible for your bankruptcy. You are. It is the habits you encourage, you keep. It is the company you choose. It's all on you. Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor, said it best, that when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Blaming others is the easy way out, but it robs you of the chance to take charge of your life. Consider the following example. If you keep saying you can't succeed because your boss doesn't like you, you'll never focus on improving your skills or finding better opportunities. You stay stuck because you've convinced yourself that you have no control. I have to repeat that. You stay stuck because you've convinced yourself that you have no control. This is what I mean by transferring your power to those you blame. Accepting that it is your fault forces you to take the necessary actions to fix it, which leads us to the next reason. The second reason why blame games makes you weak is it inhibits your growth. Taking responsibility might feel uncomfortable at the moment, but it is the only way to grow. Here's an example. If you are assigned a project at work and for some reason you miss the deadline, you could say your team didn't pull your weight or the client kept changing their minds. What if instead you said, I didn't manage the timeline effectively and I'll do it better next time? What happens then? You grow, you learn, you become better. When you blame others, you have simply robbed yourself of this opportunity to learn and grow, which you desperately need. I know what you're thinking, that accepting liability will label you a failure. But who is a failure? A failure is simply someone who has discovered another way of not doing something. Another way of not doing something. Mistakes are great teachers, but not if you disown them. The legendary basketball coach John Wooden once said, "You're not a failure until you start blaming others for your mistakes." The next time you are tempted to point fingers, pause and ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? That's how you grow. Think about the great Thomas Edison. It is said that his laboratory burnt down, destroying years of work. That's quite a setback, right? Surely we can blame the fire, we can blame the equipment, we can blame the staff, we can blame anywhere. Instead, he famously said, "Thank goodness all our mistakes were burnt up. Now we can start fresh." This is how high achievers think. They look at setbacks as opportunities for creating a comeback, to learn, to grow. Blaming others closes the door on self-reflection. If you're not learning from your mistakes, you are stuck in the same cycle of failure. This habit leaves you stagnant while others move forward. In the words of John C. Maxwell, the difference between average people and achieving people is their perception of and response to failure. If you keep shifting the blame to others, you'll never learn how to do it better. And that is where growth happens. The third and final reason for this video is blaming others weakens your credibility. People will start to see you as unreliable. Think about it. Would you trust someone who always has an excuse? I understand that you get the urge to blame others as a defense mechanism. You're trying to shield yourself from discomfort. You're trying to shield yourself from guilt. Maybe you're trying to protect yourself from shame. And this I understand truly. The problem, however, is by doing this, you're putting your reputation on the line. You're hurting your trustworthiness and reliability. You are exposing your incompetence and inability to get things done. People will no longer trust you to take ownership of tasks or handle responsibility. Weak trust means few opportunities. Do you know what few opportunities mean? Less productivity. Warren Buffett put it well when he said, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and only 5 minutes to ruin it. Every time you blame someone else, you chip away at your credibility. People notice, people remember. Let's say, for instance, you are a team leader and you blame a junior employee for project failure in front of your boss. The team will see that you are not willing to take responsibility, and they will be less likely to give their best effort for you. Ultimately, this makes your team, and by extension you, less productive. But here's the parting shot. When you blame others, you lose out on growth, trust, and empowerment. In the words of Benjamin Franklin, he that is good for making excuses is seldom good for making anything else. He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. That's the end of the video, guys. I'm so glad you found value in this video. If it resonated with you, show some love by hitting that like button. It helps more people discover this message. Don't forget to share it with your friends who could use a little inspiration, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Can't wait to see you in the next video.